Have you ever wondered if our actions really come back to us? This incredible story might change how you see the world forever. In a peaceful village long ago, there lived a wealthy man known for his unusual way of lending money. Unlike other lenders who demanded strict repayment terms, this man had just one strange question for everyone who borrowed from him. Will you repay this money in this life or your next life? Most honest villagers would quickly promise, in this life, of course. But those looking to take advantage would smirk and say, oh, in my next life, thinking they had found the perfect loophole to avoid repayment. Word about this peculiar lender spread throughout the region. One day, a clever thief heard about the wealthy man's unusual condition. He hatched what he thought was a brilliant plan. He would pretend to borrow money just to see where the safe was kept, then return later to steal everything. The thief approached the wealthy man confidently. "I need some money," he said with a friendly smile. The wealthy man nodded kindly. "Of course. But tell me, will you repay this in this life or your next?" With a hidden smirk, the thief replied, "In my next life, naturally." The wealthy man showed no reaction. He simply nodded to his bookkeeper, who wrote down the thief's name, opened the large safe behind a painting, and counted out the money. The thief's eyes carefully tracked every detail of where the money was kept. Perfect, thought the thief as he left. Tonight, everything in that safe will be mine. Later that night, when the village was quiet, the thief crept toward the wealthy man's house. But to his frustration, the lights were still on. The wealthy man was awake, reading by candlelight. "I'll just wait until he falls asleep," the thief muttered, hiding in the buffalo shed behind the house. As minutes turned to hours in the darkness, the thief suddenly heard voices. He froze in fear, thinking he'd been discovered. But when he listened more carefully, he realized the strange voices were coming from the buffaloes. Even more shocking, he could understand them. "You're new here, aren't you?" one buffalo asked another. "Yes, just arrived today," the second buffalo replied. "How long have you been here?" The first buffalo let out a heavy sigh. 3 years now. But there's something you should know about this place." The thief leaned closer, barely breathing. "In my past life, I was a human," the buffalo continued. "I borrowed money from the wealthy man who owns this house. When he asked when I would repay him, I laughed and said, 'In my next life,' thinking I was so clever." The buffalo stomped its hoof sadly. "After I died, my karma brought me right back here, as a buffalo. Now I must work off my debt by giving milk every day until the full amount is repaid." The thief's blood ran cold. He stared at the buffaloes in the moonlight, suddenly seeing them not as animals, but as people who had tried to cheat the system, just as he was planning to do. As the first light of dawn broke across the sky, the wealthy man was surprised to see the thief from yesterday standing at his door, pale-faced and trembling. "Here's your money back," the thief said, pushing the coins forward. "And please, erase my name from your book immediately." The wealthy man smiled knowingly but asked no questions. From that day forward, the thief became an honest man. He often told others his story as a warning that no one escapes the law of karma. What we do always comes back to us, in this life or the next. Just like a rose appears red because it gives back red light while keeping all other colors, what we put into the world is what returns to us. Kindness brings kindness. Dishonesty brings hardship. The law of karma ensures that those who live honestly may sometimes face challenges, but eventually find true peace and happiness. Those who cheat may seem to succeed for a while, but their house is built on shifting sand. So remember the lesson of the wealthy man and the buffaloes. The choices we make today shape who we become tomorrow. What will you choose to give to the world?